Now for the guys that it did this morning for the girls, as we are ready for the gun. Sunny San Diego, the home of the conclusion. The final race of the 2025 season, all roads leading to Brooks and Balboa as the boys take their turn here on the grass and dirt in sunny Southern California. Finally sunny, guys. All right, let's talk about dark horses. We know about Jackson Spencer. Carrie, give me another name of someone you think is going to be a factor in this race.
Well, I don't know if he's a dark horse, but I think Marcelo Mantecon, he has something to prove. He's done so well, but I also really like Sean Freeze. Yes, I'm from Minnesota, don't you know, but he's the top returner from last year. He went out hard last weekend, and maybe that wasn't quite the right thing for him to do last weekend in the mud, in the heaviness of that course. Today it's faster course, so maybe he'll come back, be the top returner, and show everybody who's boss.
Someone else that's a dark horse, and I don't think no one's really talking about, is Paul Van Lanningham. This kid from Kentucky has had an amazing season. He was only 5th place at the South Regional, but he got 9th place last week at NXN. I talked to him earlier in the week, and he said that he thinks he just performs well at championships. He treats the qualifiers as qualifiers, but when it's time to be championship ready, he knows when to really turn it on. Also, Nick Mazzeo, he won Running Lane last week, another national championship, and that really gave him motivated and changed how he's really approaching today. He finished 3rd in Northeast Regional, but has all the confidence in the world after winning last week.
Can we talk a little bit about Caden Leonard? I mean, anyone who watched the race last week saw the emotion that he had. Everyone felt for him, and I know that going back-to-back 3rd places last weekend, he's got a lot riding on this race, and he seems loose, he seems cool, but he's very emotional, so that will lead him up to a good race hopefully today.
5 of the top 7 at NXN here battling at Brooks XC. Course record 1436.8, run by Ruben Reyna in 1985. Both those course records have just stood for so long. Yeah. And Jackson Spencer is looking to become the first athlete since Lucas Verzbicas in 2010 to win both NXN and Brooks XC in the same year. Their first time through as they come by. It's Marcelo Mantecon out in front at 219.9 officially.
Right there behind him is Sam Lavadier. He's a really interesting prospect, our winner out of the Northeast region. He didn't run high school officially because he ran out of eligibility up in the Northeast, but he ran a lot of 8Ks. He has a PR of 24:29. He was running against grown men week to week who are just doing club nationals, and his first 5K was last week. It was about 2 weeks ago in the Northeast region. He's going to be put on a show today.
Dropping down in distance, I think, is interesting when you're at this age.
So Jackson Spencer was 20th.
Yeah,
there at the first 800.
You know, he did not get out on the dog part, or the dog loop is what they call it. He was kind of gobbled up in there. Now he's going to have to navigate his way through. And he was not shy to say he wanted to run very fast, if not touch that record or get it. So, I mean, I'm a little concerned like why he was out so slow, but you know, he'll move his way up if he's feeling good. He's human, we don't know.
It's definitely surprising, but he's shown throughout this season, because beginning of the year, he was really going from the gun, taking it over. But even the beginning of the year at Woodbridge, he held back. Then the last 2 miles went out and go. At Clovis, when he broke Herman Fernandez's record, he didn't go straight from the gun. He stayed with everybody, then went go. His coach, Doug Souls, likes to run that last mile hard. So expect him to ramp up in these next couple kilometers.
Well, Doug Souls has a lot of history right here in California, so he brings his athletes to race here, and he's a big name, a legendary name in the coaching world.
Yeah, when I was in high school, Doug Souls kind of hated that name because Grado killed us all the time. But Jackson Spencer is a great athlete, and I can't wait to see what he does.
Good guy.
Well, out front there in the blue, Midwest champion Calvin Seitz, a junior from Jasper, Indiana. Won the Brooks Midwest Championship in 1512, the Indiana State Cross Country Champion as well in 1501. Man who ran 8:53 at Arcadia, 3,200, 4:13 for a mile a season ago. And he's got the best mustache in the field as well. That's not in our stats, but I'm just going to go ahead and declare that.
No debate.
That Mr. Seitz leads in that category. It is Mantecon up there as well. They're in front. So out of mile, 4:48.8 for Marcelo Mantecon. Nicholas Mazzeo, Sam Lavadier, Calvin Seitz, Brian Burns, you see there on the left side of your screen, and here they go up this hill for the first time.
Just trying to kind of keep yourself in check up this hill, grind it out. You know, they did run the race, or they ran the course yesterday slowly up the hill. Some people do some strides just to get a feel for what it's like to actually have to push, get your rhythm. I mean, it is you have to chop your stride going up that hill. It is very tough.
It's interesting to see Marcelo Mantecon really take it over. He's coming from a place in Florida where they don't have that many hilly courses. And like, he's ran very fast this year, 14:33, breaking the Florida State record down there at New World, and he's performed well. I think he's running a bit of a shoot the shoulder as well. He was the first person to get a Fleet Feet golden ticket out of boys and girls, so he has something to really prove to show that I belong in this race. Finishing 4th last week too, like, he definitely has a chip on his shoulder, and I think that's why he's leading.
Yeah, some history there. Nobody can take that away from you ever. The first ever golden ticket handed out for Marcelo Mantecon, the junior from Florida. And he was with everyone until about 800 to go at NXN. He really ran a lot of that race in that front group, and right now he is starting to gap this field just a little bit. 4:48 at a mile would be 14:54 pace. That pace about what you guys expected here early?
I mean, I kind of throw the time out the door. You know, it's every year we get something different, and he's starting to really push and get into his own rhythm. But I think what I was expecting was to see Jackson up there really pushing the pace, because it seemed like that when you interviewed him. It seemed like that was a big thing that they had been talking about.
Yeah, he talked about how the Ruben Reyna record was inspiring him this weekend. We'll see how that really develops, but you would think that would mean leading from the front and trying to really push the pace, make this hard. But I guess he knows everyone's keen off of him.
Well, and this would be a pretty epic season for him if he were just to crack that tape. That's why when I was hearing him talk so much about the potential to set that record, I was like, oh, I hope he remembers to just race as well, and that's what he's doing.
7:14.8 at a mile and a half for Marcelo Mantecon. And Mantecon ahead of Sean Fries now in second. Caden Leonard has moved up 7 spots in that half mile to 3rd. Calvin Seitz, Brian Burns, Johannes van Meerten is about 4 seconds back as well. He's in 7th. And here comes Jackson Spencer, moved up 12 spots on that last half mile from 20th up to 8th at 7:18.9. Jackson Spencer was 4.1 off the lead.
Biding his time, potentially, but this goes quick. That last loop goes fast.
I don't want to give, I don't think they should give a gap like this to Marcelo Mantecon. Like, he's no slouch. He has the freshman record now, freshman class record in the 3,200 meter, running at 8:50. So he has the talent. He's a prodigy in Florida and has the chops to win this race. And to give him this type of lead, you may not get it back.
Well, he has that strength. I mean, you know, his race is more the 3,200 and maybe 5,000 meters, so he has that strength. He's drawing the kicks out of all of those fast 800 milers that we have right next to him here in the second pack.
And
but don't sleep on Caden Leonard right there. He's in 3rd, and he has a lot of emotion, as I said. Coming into this race, he wants it badly.
Marcelo Mantecon coming up here on the 2-mile mark in just a moment. Again, it was 2.2 seconds between Mantecon, Calvin Seitz, Caden Leonard, Sean Fries, and Brian Burns, with Van Meerten and Spencer side by side in 7th and 8th, but still Mantecon is trying to extend this gap a little bit up these hills.
And they're in that second pack. Calvin Seitz, he's running an amazing race so far. 2 weeks ago, he ran really gritty in that snow. I talked to him earlier this week. He said he had battling some back problems, but it seems not to be bothering him in any way. Like, he's running beautifully right now. It's nice to see a regional champ really challenging for this lead and running with all the confidence in the world. He hasn't lost since mid-October, and he's running with the very best in the nation right now.
Van Meerten and Spencer making a push
Uh-oh.
at 2 mile.
Look who's in second.
Montecon
He's
at
here.
950.5 and Jackson Spencer moving up 6 spots again in that last 800 from 8th to 2nd. Striking distance for Spencer inside the final mile and change.
Well, this is where these guys are going to really have to work. And Freeze, as I said, he was 9th actually last year. Keep your eye on him. He knows this course.
And the big thing about Sean Freeze, he always makes a move early.
Yeah.
He knows he doesn't have the best kick. He can't run 150 like Jackson Spencer. So he is going to make a move that's going to be definitive at some point. Watch out for Sean Freeze in the blue.
And Van Meerten is there too. And Van Meerten said last week he almost was watching the race thinking, this is an awesome race in front of me. And he said, wake up, I'm actually in this race. And he was challenging all the way to that finish line when he was 2nd.
Johannes Van Meerten loves to be here in this moment. He loves the crowd. He loves the showmanship. After he broke that record at the Mount Sac Cross Country Invitational, he walked up to me and he said, give me that golden ticket. So he loves to be here in this moment, and he's ready for the big time.
Yeah, Mantecon, though, looks good out there. I mean, you can see Jackson Spencer now, eyes down, trying to keep his sight on him. He's going to have to use that hill, but this is notorious. This is what happens on this course. You get to that hill and magic happens.
So the rematch of NXN is living up to the hype, but a different order than where these guys finished in that race. Marcelo Mantecon out in front still, and this is the spot where he's got to cling to this lead as Jackson Spencer leads the chase pack now, trying to get contact as we make our way up to the final K here shortly.
I think this is smart right now. You can see the pack is starting to close. Mantecon has to keep the pressure on here. He has to think about getting up that hill, chopping his stride, driving as hard as he can, and then really starting to grind out, use that strength that we know he has to kind of get that kick that we know that Spencer has. Spencer is a great 800-meter runner. He's that 4 flat guy over 1,600 meters. They have to move hard on Jackson Spencer now in order to beat him, and I think Mantecon is doing a great job.
And it has to be smart to think that, like, Mantecon has to be thinking these guys are going to come up on my shoulder at some point. He knows that he's the class of this field, but he also knows everyone behind him is ultra competitive and want to win this race. When I talked to Marcelo Mantecon earlier this year, and when he got his golden ticket, he said he wanted to race Jackson Spencer. He wanted to race Johannes Van Meerten. So in this moment, this is where he wants to be. He wants to be in the lead. He wants to control the race. He wants to be a national champion.
And Jackson Spencer is making a move. The gap went from 3.3 just down to 3.1, but now things are getting interesting as Jackson Spencer makes a big move up the hill, and now they will make their way back down.
If I were Mantecon right now, I would throw down a hard surge, but it looks like Jackson Spencer has gone by, and he is going for Sean Freeze is coming up as well.
The big thing that Doug Soul said last week after Jackson Spencer won that race at NXN, he said you can't outrun him and you can't outkick him. Can anyone do that today?
Here they go, making a turn for the downhill, everybody.
Jackson Spencer stepping away from the rest of this field.
Keep your eyes on Sean Freeze. He's in 3rd place right now. He always has a hard and definitive move, and he's waited a long time for this. But Caden Leonard, he's trying to respond.
Caden Leonard, you can see he's striding out. He is closing hard, and he is using all that emotion that he's had for the past week.
From 20th at the first mile to the top spot as they make the sprint down the hill, you see the pace and the strides of the feet striking the dirt, quickening with every single step as Jackson Spencer has got company once again. Look at this response from Marcelo Mantecon.
Mantecon's going by him right now. This is important for him to keep the pressure on and to go hard here. He doesn't have that far left.
Marcelo Mantecon was not happy with getting 4th place last week. He knows he has the ability to be a national champion. He's a prodigy in the making, but now he is the moment with Jackson Spencer.
Jackson Spencer out in front with Marcelo Mantecon, the man who led most of this race with a Herculean effort to answer. But Spencer is making his sprints. And the young man from Harriman in Utah, undefeated in 2025. Can he hold on? Mantecon is closing. Still time. Mantecon to the outside. They're side by side, a battle for the ages to the tape. Mantecon on the outside, Spencer on the inside. And it is Spencer. Jackson Spencer by 2/10 wins it.
Wow.
15:10.7. A season for the ages ends with a finish for the ages.
Wow, that was amazing. Jackson Spencer with 300 to go really started to make his move. Mantecon came back up on his shoulder, and I thought with less than 200 to go, it was over. Mantecon had something different to say.
Marcelo Mantecon, what a race, leading most of the way. That's not how this race was supposed to play out, but Marcelo Mantecon did not want to give up in those last 50 meters. But Jackson Spencer, to complete a season like this, all the records that he's broken, to be in the same name, the same air as Lucas Verzbickas as the only person to win the Brooks Cross Country Championships and NXN. This is amazing from this kid. He has the ability to run to the 800 to a 5K. I can't wait to see what he does on the track, but right now we're living in such a sweet moment.
What is his distance? That's the question.
And what an effort by this man. Marcelo Mantecon leading, relinquishing the lead, getting it back with, 50 meters left, and that is everything that we love about cross country and track and field right there. Throw out the times, throw out the rest of the season. I'm going to race you to that line. Let's see who can get there first. And we had to wait for the dramatic pause to make sure we had it right.